right. Yep, we're alive. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's another sunny day. Great. Um, I'm making this video just to stay in touch. I know that we haven't met in person this week yet, and which is fine. But I want to just sort of clarify some things about what's happening this week, and you guys have most of all of you are doing a good job of doing the work in a remote fashion. Certainly great when I see everybody in the class, but also it's great seeing those uploads on Google Classroom. And so the two things I think that I want to, the two things that are on the assignments in Blackboard right now there that are new for this week. I wanted just to show you what those were, and just kind of give you a little bit of the method of my madness here. Let's see. So I know that this looks very different for you perhaps than it does for me, but nonetheless I think you'll still be able to get the gist of what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to actually take that announcement down and include this video as today's announcement. I know that the SAT was actually today and not Monday, so good luck. I hope you guys are doing okay with that. So this video is going to be posted under announcements, which you probably already clicked on that and saw it. So it's a weird time warp thing happening where I'm envisioning the future of when this video will live somewhere else. Anyhow, what I would ask for you to do, though, oops, I didn't mean to do that, is to watch this video here, Intro to Earnest and Dual Identities. It's not necessarily in order. I think we've already done the assignment on the 1890s part 2, the 6-word summaries, which were fantastic. Thanks for all that. That was a really fun day on Friday reading those. Actually, I don't know. I have that linked twice. I'll take one of them down. And then, okay, so the earnest and dual identities. This is really an introduction to the importance of being earnest and some themes that I want you guys to have down, and some plot elements. So anyway, go and watch that video. If you go in assignments, you will see that active is, or there's two things, the dual identities. Okay, it says go to the classroom link and you'll find out what you need to know. All right, and that's where you end up. So here again is the video and just housed in a different place. Watch the video, complete the questions here. Each question can probably be answered in 2 to 4 sentences depending on your way of construing words and ideas. So I just have 3 questions. I'd like for you just to you should be able to just type them right in the answer bar. So that's the assignment then for tomorrow. It's a 20-minute video and some questions. All right, so I feel like that's not too much given that we're not going to have class time today. We didn't have class yesterday, so yeah, I feel like that's a reasonable assignment. Also on the active assignments is this, we're looking at the Writing from Images final draft. Here's the link to the turn-in in the Google Classroom. And really, I really am just enjoying Google Classroom so much because of the turn-in capabilities. I'll show you that in a minute. It really does allow me to organize and comment much easier. So in the Writing from Images final draft in the Google Classroom, you're going to get a handout here. It's already open here. This is basically a rundown of what we've been working on. In this essay, you've already responded to several, and I'm going to go over it right now with you. So this is important, I think, to just kind of explain where we are, what's coming up, what are the next steps. So you're already, let's see, you already responded to several prompts asking you to write on your experience of Turner's paintings and how they connect and resonate with you and your understanding of the Romantic era. And I'm going to just inform just to make it even better. Okay. So the assignment summary basically is this. I mean, you've already actually completed a very key phase of the whole operation here, because you did all of those focus-free writes. So the assignment summary is to organize and outline the focus-free writes and compose the essay typed in MLA format. Observe the following focus correction areas. We call them FCAs. You should demonstrate your knowledge of the text by choosing details and quotes that accurately support your reflections on the paintings. Use of first person I and we is encouraged, as this is both an analytical essay and a personal reflection essay. So I've followed your process closely from the sort of brainstorming, idea explosions, the focused free writes, the outlines. You guys are all in there. You're ready to get this final draft done. So the assignment summary is a little redundant, but it's nice to kind of look back and think, yeah, you've come a few steps far into this process. Again, the purpose is to demonstrate your understanding of the Romantic era themes and discuss how they appear in paintings and poetry. The writer's role in this assignment is you're going to be writing in a formal voice, but it's also personal and reflective. The tone can be personal and reflective. Using first and second person is acceptable and encouraged. Your role to articulate your impressions and ideas, and I should say your role is to articulate your impressions and ideas and to demonstrate analytical thinking when making connections between paintings and texts. Many of you have already taken this this step, or are immersed in this, or are wrapping this up. So again, this is nothing new. I just been pointing out kind of where you are in the process, and that I have seen and monitored all of you, articulating your ideas and impressions, demonstrating your analysis, making connections between paintings and texts, and even your own life. So that's wonderful. One of the cool things I think about this essay assignment is that the audience really can be anyone, because you describe the paintings, you present the poems in such a holistic kind of way. So I kind of like that about this essay. It doesn't sort of like exist in the vacuum of just a class. I mean, if the best essays, I think, would maybe fit in a number of different housing spaces. What I mean by that is, like, it could be a blog, or it could be, depending on how you do it. I mean, it really, these essays could live in a lot of different places and be read by a lot of different people. So I like that it's not just specific to what the teacher or the class wants. You can find ways to stretch out into a wider audience. How big, or the form, how long? 5 to 8 paragraphs, depends on how you want to organize it, your preference. I've given you a lot of freedom in this, okay? I do want there to be an MLA format, though. I want 12 font double spaced, and it can, I think, looking at what all of you have done, you guys have all fulfilled these requirements. And I think some of these papers are going to be a full 3, a little more than 3 pages. Some of them might be as long as 5. That's fine with me. If they're a little bit longer, that's okay too. But this is sort of the range, and it's acceptable however it lands within that range to me. Now let's talk about focused correction areas. Again, FCA, it's an acronym for focused correction area. 40 points is going to be allotted to making sure that your writing is, that you have complete sentences. I might even say no fragments or comma splices. And also the minimal use of the verb to be and minimal use of passive voice as well. I'm just going to separate this just maybe for a little more clarity. I also ask that you avoid vague language overall and be as clear as possible with everything you write. I want to jump into, let's see, these rough drafts here just to show you. Let's see. I want to show you a couple of examples. Not to pick on anybody, because this is something that I even am constantly correcting with myself. By the way, this is a wonderful piece of writing here. But in the first sentence, romanticism is the time period. Can you use a different verb than is? Okay, can you think of a stronger, more active verb than the to be verb is? There's a few other examples. Let's see, again, I'm not trying to pick on folks, but just to point out the way that it can be a little bit sneaky at times, the verb to be, our over-reliance on it. Did I make a comment on it? Yeah, like it is necessary, very common to throw this phrase around, and you need to do it in order to maybe introduce your thoughts to get them out. But it can be eliminated, so I'm going to challenge you guys to try to avoid it is or there is or theirs. Those are all ways that the verb to be can kind of sneak into your writing and make it a little more wordy than it needs to be. So that's one of the FCAs. The next one is a strong use of quotes, proper quote integration, and signal phrases. I expect most all of you, from what I can tell, are going to get that 30 points just based on your outline. Just make sure that you do a tight job of this when you do your final draft. I don't know if anyone's quite come up with that creative title. I would like for there to be a creative title. I don't want it to be just like Mr. Freeman's essay or Writing from Images essay. You get what I mean. So think about that. It doesn't have. Some of you might come up with amazing titles, some of them so. I don't care. Just stretch into the practice of titling your work and really owning what it is that you're writing. What is, an effective title can really transform an essay. So think about how you can do that and do the best you can with that. I'll give you the 20 points as long as you just have a title that is your own and not just some stock thing like Turner essay or whatever. I also want you to include in your essay the images. You can go to the slideshow and you guys should know how to either do a screenshot or there's ways of kind of dragging and dropping the images, and you can include them in the body of the essay. This is something that we can do now. It's a lot easier to do in this age where we have so much digital dexterity, if you will. So that's another easy 10 points for you to get on the essay. So that's how it is going to be graded. It's going to be a test, or as the category is going to be weighted a lot more than these homework and quizzes that we've been doing. So this is a real chance for you guys to earn a real solid A, and have that reflected in your average for the semester. So, okay, as always, I'm open for questions. I don't want to keep going too long here. Thank you for listening or watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.